What is up, everyone? This is Review It. I'm James.
And I'm Kelly.
And today we are reviewing Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit. This is the new movie from Kenneth Branagh, who is the director of Thor. This is basically his take on the Jack Ryan franchise that has been going on for quite a while. I'm going to let you go first this time, and I'll step out.
Alright. Okay, so I really enjoyed this movie. We have seen some really bad movies in the month of January.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, we have a good movie. One that is worth sitting and watching. First thing I liked was the acting. You have Chris Pine, you have Keira Knightley, you have Kevin Costner. You have some really great actors in this movie. Chris Pine, come on ladies, everybody likes to watch Chris Pine, he's gorgeous. So, first thing, he's just fun to look at. But he also does some really good scenes. So I really did enjoy the acting. I think everybody did a great job in this. Another thing that I did like about the movie was some of the scenes. This movie just has some really cool scenes to watch. First thing I really enjoyed was Jack Ryan whenever he has his first kill. He does something that most people would do. He freaks out. He's shaking, he's paranoid, he's looking around, he doesn't know what's going on, he doesn't know what to do. If I killed somebody, this would be the situation. But in most movies you don't see this happen. You see them kill somebody, then they run off and move on to whatever is about to happen next. I love that they take some time to build his character like this. You see his weak points and it makes you want to watch him and it makes you want him to win. Another scene I enjoyed was the end of it, the final chase scene. They did a good job with this scene. It had me sitting on the end of my seat just freaking out. James could just hear me going, oh my gosh, freaking out. Really enjoyed this scene. So throughout the movie, it had some really fascinating, fun scenes to watch. But that does bring me to a couple of things I did not like. The first thing I did not like is how slow this movie kind of went. It took a little bit to really build up Jack Ryan's character and to make you kind of learn who he is and why he is in the CIA. So that kind of bothered me, is that it did take a little bit of time to really get started, really get fun to watch. Another thing I did not like is Jack Ryan's character throughout the entire movie. This movie takes place over a span of 13 years. Chris Pine never changes. He looks exactly the same through these entire 13 years. Now you would think over 13 years he might look a little bit older. Maybe he at least grew a beard or something. I don't know, but he looked exactly the same through the entire movie. Some of the other characters, to me, vividly changed a little bit. They looked a little bit older, a little bit more mature. Not Chris Pine. Chris Pine stayed exactly the same. Maybe it's just in his genes, I don't know. But he did stay exactly the same. Okay, so that is my take on the movie. I thought it was a very fun movie to watch. Before I actually give my rating though, I'm going to let James step back in and give his opinion.
You know what? First off, I really like this movie. It actually makes me a little bit more positive about January, even though January's been filled with some really bad movies so far. Jack Ryan seems to be the one decent one. It's not perfect, but it is pretty good. It's your average international spy movie, in which I happen to like those movies. It's a good reboot for the series, and I am excited for more. First off, what I really liked was the acting in this movie. I do like Chris Pine, I really like Kevin Costner, and Keira Knightley. Yeah, they're all really good in this movie. Even Kenneth Branagh is pretty good, and I've only seen him in maybe one or two other movies, and he's good as a villain. There's a few times where you can really tell how menacing and how evil this guy is. So I like the acting of this movie. Alright, another thing I liked about this movie is something that Kelly said. It's very believable. Jack Ryan is not a superhero. They don't try to make him John McClane in this movie. This is a very believable story. It is grounded in reality, much like most of Tom Clancy's books. So I really enjoy how they do make it feel more realistic, in that when Jack Ryan first kills someone, he's not used to it. Even though he was a Marine, he is an analyst. So an analyst is not used to getting close quarters and killing someone. So when he does finally get his first kill, he is very traumatized by that, and we can see it. And it does last for more than 10 seconds. Alright, now, like I said, it's not a perfect movie. There's a few things I don't like about it. One thing is that, like I said, it is an international spy movie. There is a lot of these movies. There's Mission Impossible. This movie doesn't do a lot to really stand out on its own, to be a brand new thing. It kind of does a lot of similar things that are into these other kind of movies. There's a big car chase scene, there's a really tense scene where Jack Ryan has to extract information quickly before impending doom. There are a lot of things that you have seen before, and while it doesn't really detract me from my enjoyment of the movie, it still kind of stuck out to me that I have seen all this before. And if you've seen international spy movies, you know exactly what I mean. Okay, the last thing I really wasn't too crazy about with this movie is it takes a while to really get into it. At first, it starts with Jack Ryan being in college around the time of 9/11, and while I do like the character development of Jack Ryan, I felt like the movie did take a while to really get to the point of what is happening. It was a lot of backstory, and while backstory is not a bad thing, too much can make your audience kind of bored really early on. And I won't say I was bored, but I was starting to wonder if things were ever going to pick up. And so I didn't like how it kind of had a slow beginning. But once it gets into the main story, the movie actually does pick up and it becomes very interesting. Alright, so that's my take on the movie. Now Kelly's going to come back in and we're both going to give our final score.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give my score overall. I think it's a great movie. It's really cool to see that take on a terrorist attack because we really don't get to see behind the scenes of that. Very cool. So I think I'm going to give this movie probably a matinee rating. It's worth seeing. I would go to the matinee. Me and James saw it in matinee. It's worth going to the movies. Take a date to it. It's a really good movie.
Yeah. I'm going to match you on that one. I don't think it's full price, but it's better than renting it. You don't have to rent it to watch it. It's actually worth going to see it in the theaters for a matinee price. So I will match you on matinee. It's a good movie. I don't think it's great, but it is a good movie, and I enjoy it, and I will probably watch it again. Maybe not in theaters, but maybe when it comes out on DVD, I think I might get it. It was a good movie, and I am excited to see what they do if they carry this franchise forward. It would be really cool to see it continue on and become better, because I'm sure they're going to improve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to watch another one, so it's a good thing.
Alright, so that's it for us today. This is Review It. I'm James.
I'm Kelly.
See you next time.